Doug Smith, it's another restaurant mastermind, and I'm talking to Brian Shunia, who is the president and founder of Wing Snob. They are located in Michigan, Ohio, Texas, as well as Canada. And Brian, I appreciate your time and your insights, because this is a crazy time. And my first question right out of the gate is, what did you and your management team do, and what do you continue to do to prepare and try to work through the virus in this crazy situation we're in right now?
Well, Doug, first and foremost, adapt, right?
Yeah.
The great adaptation is what I'd like to label this. With that being said, there are many measures being taken. Obviously, we're taking all the advice we're getting from our governments and our local municipalities, but yet we try to go above and beyond, as if we were a consumer walking into a restaurant. How would we feel? Face masks, gloves. It even got to the point where we had one person standing at the door, opening and closing the door, or just sanitizing the moment someone would touch the door. And it just added costs. So we were able to come up with more cost-effective ways of handling these measures, such as propping the doors open, putting red X's on the floors, face shields, shields at some counters in some stores, lots of different measures. And the second word I would use is diversity, right? It's time to diversify our business on how we can move forward with generating our same revenue streams without this, impacting us detrimentally. And I say diversify because it's a challenge, right? Someone who typically comes in and picks up food. We've inherited curbside. Curbside's been around forever. Have I ever thought in a million years that I'd be utilizing curbside? Absolutely not. But hey, I find myself here now, and it's working. And I think as we get through this and even past this, we'll take this as a learning curve, and I'm pretty sure that we'll continue to utilize some of our same strategies on the go forward.
Now, one thing about you, which I found really, it seemed to be you were ahead of the curve per se, is the idea of your online ordering, the way that your website and everything else. Now, the Wing Snob brand is about 2.5 years old, but you've been in the restaurant game for a while. How has that helped you, or has it helped you to be ahead of the game when it came to online ordering and all of that? Because so many restaurants didn't, or they weren't doing it, and they had to pivot so fast, and they weren't really up to speed on it. But you seem to have already had that integrated. Is that a fair assumption, and did it help?
To say I was ahead of the game, sure, I was able to reap benefits in a sense. To say I've been doing it for a long time, but it's never too late, right? By me starting 2 years ago, as opposed to somebody starting today, there's no difference. I highly advise people to hop on board. The technology world is the center of every big industry, right? It's going to keep evolving. Online ordering, it's the new, it's the new go-to. Everything's in your hands these days. Look at marketing, for example. Everything's done social media. It's right in your hands. Online ordering, your websites that you frequent. Everything's right in the palm of your hands. And if you look at the statistics, I'm sure it'll blow your mind that, someone's holding their phone 50, 60% of the day. I say I hold my phone about 95% of the day. So online ordering, it's a huge benefit. And it also encourages upsells, right? People tend to spend more money when they move at their own pace, and they get to look at the options before them on their phone and in their hand. And it's much easier to select, as opposed to sitting there in front of the screen or POS looking at your total go up and up and up, right? You don't really get to see your total go up and up and up until you hit the cart. But yeah, online ordering is where it's at. I think that itself, within itself, is going to keep evolving, such as pop-ups for upsells, or when you visit an online ordering platform, a message board will pop up, or a feed will come across. They're going to get more tech savvy with it, and they're going to finesse that system quite well, to the point where I'm pretty sure people are even going to start selling advertisements, within their own portals. And that's my take. Online ordering makes up about 35% of my business company-wide, and it's a huge plus, man. Very big plus.
One thing that seems to be a lightning rod these days, even before the coronavirus and the necessity for the third party, the deliveries, the DoorDash, Grubhub, there was like no middle ground on that. You either liked it or you didn't. And it seems to be even a bigger lightning rod now because it's such a necessity. But so many restaurants I talk to, and even restaurants we work with, they view them as a foe, not a friend. You view it completely different from what most people who I talk to. So explain your viewpoint and your stance on the importance of the third-party delivery platforms.
Sure. It's a double-edged sword, right? It's, like you said, it's a love-hate thing. So utilizing DoorDash and Grubhub doesn't work for every business. If you're a small mom and pop's business, that you're doing a couple deliveries a day, you're better off just doing them yourself, because most likely the owner is taking them, or the owner's companion or son or daughter, whatever the case may be. But when you do get into high revenue restaurants and businesses, they do make sense. If you factor the cost of labor, the cost of insurance, it makes up for it. And on a positive note, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, Postmates, etc., they give you the option and capabilities of inflating your prices online. And people do not have a problem paying those prices. By me saying inflating those prices, for example, Grubhub, for example, 30% increase, 30% take on your average ticket. So if you inflate your prices by 15%, you take a 15% loss. I look at that 15% loss as I would have paid it in labor and liability. Liability for delivery drivers is not cheap. And also, mind you, workman's comp is factored in there as well. So I enjoy utilizing those services. And another positive is they promote your business within their own network through their channels and their sites. And you can have them take even a higher percentage and they just blow you up. You can do 100 deliveries a day and they'll take 35, 40%. But it's business you never had, right? So that's how I look at it. A DoorDash customer is a DoorDash customer. A DoorDash customer, in a sense, when I say it's a DoorDash customer, that consumer is used to ordering online through DoorDash. DoorDash is their go-to. That's their portal into the restaurant world when they're at work or they're at home or they're at the beach or wherever they're at. And that's their go-to, as opposed to vetting out which restaurant to go to, through Yelp or whatnot. So, yeah, I'm all for the whole tech aspect of our industry. I'm all for the third-party delivery services, the online ordering, all great benefits to your business.
We all know that this is going to end at some point. There's been recessions, there's been economic downturns, and we know that the light is out there. It may be dim right now. Hopefully it's going to get brighter really, really soon. But what steps are you and the management team taking to prepare yourself and the franchises for when this breaks and the economy starts getting back to normal? Are you having those discussions right now?
I don't think we'll change much, other than taking out the X's in the floor, and that's a little crazy. I'm sure that on the go forward, we're going to continue practicing social distancing. I don't think we're going to be practicing it to this extent. Whereas, not only social distancing, but whereas our cashiers are wearing face masks and gloves, I think we'd keep the gloves, lose the face masks. Social distancing, I think people will start being mindful of the separation as opposed to 6 feet. Hey, just take another foot back, because you never know. Just like this epidemic came about, you never know. I wouldn't change much. I enjoy the whole curbside aspect of it. As I said previously, I think that we'll continue to maintain curbside services. I even think as we continue to strategize the different campaigns and techniques for marketing curbside, I think that'll even grow even bigger, especially the family of 3 where the husband's at work and the mom's got 2 kids in the car with her. She's not going to go unbuckle her newborn and pull out her 3-year-old and have one on her shoulder and one on her hand and walk through the doors. And you know, I get that light from my wife, right? So every time I tell her, "Hey, go grab some food," it's like, "Well, why don't you grab food?" Because it's just much harder. So I get it, but I think it's a great asset.
Okay, so my last question ties off that then. I've heard people say, well, when we get back to normal, and I've also heard people say this is the new normal. Is it, do you view it as a hybrid in the sense that we're not going to go back to the way it was before the virus, but it's not going to stay this extreme? It's going to be a little bit of both. Is that how the hospitality industry is going to evolve?
So I only say this solely out of my own opinion, so I can't speak
Yeah.
for others. I think it's going to be a different world after this. I think containing certain individuals has most definitely changed some demeanors at most. But I think it's going to be a different world in a sense. I think people are going to spend more time at home after this. But hey, this isn't a bad time right now to pick up on marketing, right? Marketing is key to every business. I'm never shy with marketing and advertising. My business partner does a fantastic job with it, mainly social media. And the whole geo mapping and pinpointing certain demographics, it's a great benefit to your business. And it's imperative to learn how to use these tools when operating as a small business, or any business, I should say. So I do think it is going to be a different world, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong. I do hope I'm wrong, but in time, we'll find out, you know?
Well, and I think one of the biggest takeaways is that people have to understand that they have to evolve. As you mentioned earlier on when we first started talking, people have to evolve, they have to adapt. And that's just part of the way things are now with our industry, and they have to accept it, and they have to be open to new ideas and new concepts.
Correct, correct. You know, and I will throw this out there for a lot of restaurants out there. Get in touch with your local foodies, you know, your local city superstar on Instagram or Facebook, and get with those foodies that have tens of thousands of followers. And you know, most of them just take compensation in food. Most of them it's their hobby. They really don't do this for a living. And you know, when they sit there and they do posts for you, it's just like having a professional athlete walk into your business and taking a picture and sharing it through their posts. You will see the traffic follow. So you know, right now is not even a bad time to do that. Just to keep people in the know, to say, hey, your business is still around, and you're still booming, and we're here to support. And it doesn't hurt to give back. You know, give back free food. Do some free food here and there. You'll make it up in the long run, and you'll gain that recognition through your community. And mind you, we're not really only doing this for the recognition, but to do it for the people on the front line, because without them, we would, you know, we'd all be home. We wouldn't even be open, right?
Right.
So, yeah, that's my take, man.
No, great tip, and make sure that we share that along. That's a great tip for what people as they're going through their day-to-day operations, something to think about and how to connect with the community and those who can help them out. So Brian Shunia, again, president, founder, Wing Snob. They're in Michigan, Ohio, Texas, as well as Canada. And obviously you are busy right now, which is a good thing. And I appreciate you taking the time to be able to share your insights with both of our connections on LinkedIn. We're both first connections, so hopefully a lot of people will see this. And if anyone has any questions or they found what you said valuable and maybe they go, I'd like to pick this guy's brain, are you open to people reaching out to you and connecting?
Absolutely. As you and I discussed earlier, I'm all about collaboration. I'm not one to compete. So we're all in this together. And in the restaurant world, this is our world. And we got to take advantage to work with each other hand in hand. So.
Absolutely. I'll spread the word. Brian Shunia, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And I wish you all the best.
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks.